Okay, two things. Number one, summer is most definitely back. It's hot, man. Had a shit. Alright, I almost spilled my tea all over my crotch. Alright, so basically I'm here to do a tuning day actually. Now, yesterday I did a whole video on these quads I built for my buddy Matt, and they're running Betaflight. So I was basically running out of the box Betaflight 4 on his quads. You know, I flew them, I tweaked feed forward, I tweaked the rates, you know, minor stuff. It flew good, but not perfectly. You know, from behind the sticks and behind the goggles, I was pretty happy with the way it was going and responding and all that kind of stuff. And then I got home and I saw the HD footage. So I knew there was a little bit of like prop wash on low throttle going on, but when I saw the HD footage, I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, you know, it's just kind of wobbling and bobbling. It's good under high throttle, it's good under extreme moves and all that kind of stuff. Hey, there's like a blue parrot. Yeah, so I was having this prop wash problem. I didn't think it was a big deal. Sometimes prop wash, right, it's like in your mind and you should just fly different, fly through it and whatnot. But after seeing the HD footage yesterday, I was like, nah, man, I can't give this quad to my friend, you know, and tell him this is it. Hell no. No, it needs like a little more work. So I am here today to try and nail that puppy down, man, and get it flying truly, properly smooth like it should. So this shouldn't really be a surprise. Kind of annoyed, but not surprised is what I can say. Kind of annoyed because there's this whole meme out there that basically says, yeah, you fly Betaflight on the defaults, you're good to go, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, that is a big friggin' lie, man. Like, that may be true for some people, but it is not a universal truth, and I found that out, and now I'm gonna be digging into Betaflight tuning today, which I am not an expert in. So this gets me to my second question about flight controllers in general, right? Like, comparing KISS to Betaflight to Raceflight. Okay, I'm a KISS guy. Honestly, objectively, if I show you the video, like the HD video, straight out of my KISS quad and straight out of the Betaflight quad, the KISS quad destroys the crap out of the Betaflight quad. Just on a purely objective level. Like, less vibration, it handles stuff better, it moves better, every single level. And I'm not trying to like make the Betaflight quad suck. I'm actually trying to make it fly really good because I'm curious. Now, does that mean KISS is better than Betaflight? I don't think so. I just think it means I have to set up Betaflight better. So here's the thing. I don't have any experience with Raceflight personally. I have a lot of experience with KISS, although I wouldn't consider myself a KISS god tuner by any stretch. And I've got some experience with Betaflight, but not a ton, but I got enough to get quads up in the air and all that. So here's the thing, I reckon that whatever flight control you're running, whether it's KISS or Betaflight or Raceflight, I do believe that they're gonna fly really well on defaults for quite a lot of people. Having said that, I also know for certain that they are not always gonna fly great for everybody. That applies to KISS, that applies to Betaflight. I don't know about Raceflight, I haven't tried it. I'll get to Raceflight in a second. Pros and cons of each one, right? So KISS, like, I've had good experience with KISS personally, and what I like about it is at its heart, KISS is still basically your classic PID controller with a filter attached to it and TPA, and that's basically all there is to adjust. So if you understand how a PID loop works and how a PID tuning process works, you can figure out KISS pretty well. Having said that, the Achilles heel that I've seen people have with KISS is oscillations, like high throttle oscillations. Now, putting my own experience aside, I've had two different guys flying KISS. One dude, immaculate build, it was actually a Rooster. He put KISS on it, I helped him tune it, and he could not get rid of his throttle punched out oscillations, just couldn't. Tried playing with TPU, filtering and stuff like that. unhappy guy. Really nice build, latest quad, you know, super like immaculate stuff, and it didn't fly good. Conversely, I recently helped another guy, a kid, building his first quad, and he was running KISS with all this ancient gear that like most people wouldn't even use, right? And I helped him build and set up his quad actually online through Messenger, and then I met him out here in this spot, and he flew KISS out of the box, and the freaking thing flew perfect. And the kid is like looping stuff and everything in no time, and happy and everything, and the motor sounded great. So I've personally seen both extremes. I've seen guys with awesome builds struggle with KISS, and I've seen guys with like not the latest stuff slap it on there and off they go happy, right? Me personally, I'm a little in between. I custom tune my stuff, and I'm not a great tuner, so it took me a bit of time to figure it out, but I figured it out, and I've been happy with it for like years. And it flies great even on my quads that are beat to shit, right? Like old motors, stuff of varying conditions. It flies great, happy with it. Is it fair to compare a setup that's custom tuned over a long time to something that I just pulled out of the box? And here I'm talking about the Betaflight 4 quad, you know, Matt's little quad. I don't think it's apples and apples, and hell no. The thing with Betaflight is, like, now that I put on Betaflight flag. So now I've got Betaflight 4 running on this guy. I know that the defaults don't work, so I gotta start tuning this guy now. So what do? Well, you got to go online, and here's where the trick with Betaflight starts, because Betaflight, as great as it is not a simple PID controller. You've got all these filters going, you've got stuff like the feed forward, you've got dynamic D in there now, and you've got all these other little settings like I-term rotation and God knows what going on. So now for me to tune this Betaflight quad, it's like, whoa, I have so many parameters that I've got to suddenly figure out. So it's not that straightforward. So this is the trick with Betaflight. If you don't really know it well and you're new to it and it doesn't fly great on the defaults, how the hell do you know what to do, right? Start messing with stuff? Yeah, so that's where Betaflight kind of starts to become a little complicated and annoying, because it's not always obvious what these things do. When a new version comes out like Betaflight 4, you know, all the big help channels on YouTube, they're great. They're all trying to figure out what this stuff does. How does that apply to you, the guy trying to get your quad flying? What do? It's not that obvious. You have so much more stuff than just a PID loop to worry about. And then you've got guys telling you, you don't need to touch PIDs anymore, you just play with filters and all this and that. And so it's kind of hard to figure out what's up. So arguably though, you should have the same mentality when you're maidening any quad on any flight controller, any fresh build. I think you should go in with the mentality that I'm going to spend like a day or 2 days or 3 days just purely tuning the thing. You know, this whole is going to work awesome out of the box mentality, I think, is corrosive and misleading, and although it may be great for some people, I think that it's really pissing off the people that don't fall into that category. And they're going to be feeling like, what did I do wrong, and now what do I do next? And that's where guys just are getting, I think, pissed off, confused. And so I think we're setting really bad expectations for people here, actually, when we go around claiming just flash it, run the defaults, it's all good. Because it ain't, dude. It ain't for everyone. I don't know what the ratios are, I have no clue. But now, respect to Betaflight compared to KISS. Betaflight is super complicated, yes, but look at the range of quads that Betaflight is running on compared to KISS or Raceflight. So you've got Betaflight running on everything from little friggin' brushed whoops to like micros to like 3-inch quads, you know, cine whoops to 4-inch, 5-inch, you know, freestylers, racers, right up to like X-class builds and even custom setups, and it works on all of them somehow if you know how to set it up. I don't see guys doing that with KISS or Raceflight. You know, you're either running a racer or a freestyle, probably a 5-inch, maybe a 6-inch, whatever. Is it really fair to hold Betaflight up against Raceflight and KISS on simplicity, given that Betaflight has so much more like diversity in terms of the applications? I don't know. Arguable. But I gotta say that ultimately these days, if I was looking to like do a scratch build, or like if some guy came to me and asking like, yo, what should I run for like my setup and all that, and if I was gonna be, if this guy's new to the hobby and I was gonna be responsible for like helping the guy with his setup, at this point I'm almost thinking I would tell the guy go race flight, because it's got a better friggin' GUI, it's easy to set it up, and it comes with a bunch of, you know, presets that are probably gonna work. Yeah, you have to run their hardware, right? Like their flight controller at least, but their hardware is pretty good. So despite all the race flight drama and stuff that's happened in the past, and being a KISS sort of fanboy myself, if someone's coming new into the hobby and they just want to fly some really great freestyle long range stuff or whatever, I'd have to tell them, dude, get yourself race flight set up, because it's just simpler to get going in the air and it's probably going to work better. Again, not all the race flight guys I know who run it have had a great experience with it. You know, there's the old joke like race flight, you could call it capacitor flight because they have capacitors on everything. I kind of think those days have passed from what I'm seeing. I see a lot of guys running it with good success. I haven't tried it though, so take that with a grain of salt, but I do know it has the easiest setup. It's got great filtering, and it's got a good amount of community support as well. So when dudes are having problems, it's like they're pretty quick to respond and help that guy out. So I would actually argue race flight, even though I haven't tried it, because if you're just an average dude trying to figure out Betaflight, good luck, man. You're gonna be going through mazes and mazes of tutorials and trying to figure out what the hell to do. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's at now anyways. Gotta tune this quad. So I went online last night with the basic situation of, alright, I have a Betaflight quad on 4.0 with prop wash. What do I do next? So I started off by reading the Betaflight tuning guide. And so I took the 4S freestyle settings from there, copied them onto this dude here. So I did that. Another thing I did is a little bit of playing with the, I forget the actual name of the parameter, but it's basically the gyro low pass settings, like the D low pass settings on the gyro. I'll find the right settings, I'll tell you what they are. So I've stuck that stuff on here, and I'm gonna see now how it works. From there, hopefully that should get rid of a lot of the prop wash. So I can basically, so what I need to look for on this flight is actually how hot my motors are getting. Also the quad may be going to the moon, because that is apparently a thing in Betaflight 4, although I don't think that'll happen. I'm basically going to be looking for motor heat, and from there I can then focus on, I think there's two parameters basically, which are going to be the filters, the D-min, and maybe the actual D on the, you know, the PID in the D. So yeah, let's see how it goes anyways. I'm hoping this guy just flies a lot better now than before. Alright, I kind of lied. I said last time was going to be the last flight on this guy, but it's actually going to be this time, because I was having some video issues, I don't know why, and the rates just didn't seem right to me on the yaw, so I put that back to where it was earlier in the day. So I think it should fly a little better, even though I know he's gonna hate the rates and do his own rates anyways. But let's see what this guy can do. So this is a quad that is not running brand new motors. Like, I actually tuned on his quote-unquote worst new build. I'm not running the newest motors. The props are actually even a little bent on this guy. But this is important to tune for, because if it flies up pretty good on this, then that's how I know I've gotten him a good quad. I don't want to tune him a quad that's so on the edge that one thing goes wrong and the whole thing falls apart and flies terrible. If this guy flies good, I'm going to be happy. So yeah, that's a kind of a wrap on the Betaflight tuning session for today. Hammered the quad pretty good. Seems to fly pretty good. Still has some occasional freakouts, but overall it flies really nice actually. So I think the trick was mostly in those filters. Setting the filter settings for the LPF filters, the D LPF filters, to 200 by the way is what I did. Aside from that, just tweaking a little bit of D in the regular PID loop, and that's kind of it. I could do more, but splitting hairs. And the other trick is that the quad is oh wow. So yeah, I crashed the quad a few times. It's not broken or anything, but the video is not working very good. I don't know why. Like the video transmitter I think is overheating or something. So I can't really see where I'm going. It's got a couple bent props and whatnot. I didn't want to only tune on a perfect quad. I wanted to tune on a bit of a, you know, beat quad as well. If I get a tune that flies on a messed up quad, not that it's messed up, but if I get a tune that flies on it, shall we say imperfect, non-completely virgin quad, then that should be a really good tune on a super sharp, fresh props, fresh everything quad. So yeah, this guy's going good. I hope he's gonna enjoy them. Let's see. Now it's time to crack out the Go Kiss quads and have some Kiss fun around here. This quad flies so much better, it's almost hard to describe. I've been flying the Betaflight quad the whole day, and I'm actually really used to the way it flies to the point where I'm super confident in it. Like, the Kiss quad is like way better stick feel. It feels more organic, and I feel like I have way more fine control over it. It's bizarre. It's almost bizarre. But it's like I can almost choose exactly the line where I want to fly, and the quad will just go there. I don't know if this is just experience getting in, but it's interesting that after stepping off the Betaflight quad that I just tuned, to fly as good as I could tune it, that this old quad just still flies that good to me. Like, it's got no real bad behavior. It's got a little prop wash sometimes, that's it, which I fly around. It's just super organic and super intuitive, and it just does what you expect it to do. And I'm at the point with it where I can just try all sorts of different stuff. I'm not worried about the quad like overriding me or doing stuff. It does exactly what I want. It's the best I can describe it. Makes for a really great flying experience. It's just, the stick feel is crazy as well. You just have so much fine control. You can literally, it's like you're reading the motors with your fingertips. And just by doing minute corrections, you can just change the quad in these tiny little ways that really let you like flow around how you really want to flow. I'm surprised how good it flies, actually. I'm gonna do an experiment where I'm gonna put a fresh set of ethics props on the Betaflight quad and just see what that does, for the sake of fairness, right? But blown away. I'm pretty impressed.